when lot of constraints were discussed, and one evening when Mr. V.K. Verma was mentioning to me about this seminar, I requested him to add a topic on academic and financial constraints. People have a feeling that mining industry is a lot of money. This misconception has come in because of maybe the illegal mining activity that was carried on in different sectors in iron ore. Unfortunately, if you take other mining sector other than iron ore, getting the financial support is not so easy. If you take any industry, it is sufficient. You prepare a DPR, a bankable, you can say, feasibility report, go to the financial institution and say that I identified the land, I identified the vendor, this internal rate of return in respect of this particular project is very positive, and I am going to put maybe in contribution of about 10 to 20% from my side. They may be ready to finance. But take a mining industry, you have to do a lot of initial work. First of all, identify the mineral, identify the place, do a lot of investigation, feasibility, come out with a good reserve. Not only a good reserve, the reserve should be of an economically mineable, and make a bankable feasibility report and go to the financial institution. Still they say that how can I believe that what is there in the app is what you have said. Not only that, even to come to that bankable feasibility report, you had to spend substantial amount. That means, not like any other industry, you have to put first your initial contribution, and that initial contribution may come out with a positive investment or it can go waste. So with that uncertainty, you put your money, come out with a good feasibility report, go to the financial institution, then ask for the finance. There is also an uncertainty on the sale. It is not that like any other industry, we have a fixed market. If you go for a mining industry, unless you are a monopoly, you can say like a Coal India, you have a choice to raise the price in case there is a wage revision. You take other low value minerals like silica sand, where you work in an unorganized sector, you have to fight with what you call say unbilled transactions. In such a case, you will not be able to get the whatever the return you projected in your feasibility report. Beyond that, a lot of financial constraints are there, and I thought I will come back in the after all our speakers they give their views. It is also academic is one of the subject on this. Mining industry is now passing through a very bad patch. Nobody is ready to study geology and mining. A geologist has to run through an open barren land, walk kilometers together without any support, maybe one or two people behind him to carry some instruments. And the present generation, They are not in a, they want a very cool, a nice atmosphere, maybe due to the IT industry that has come out very well as a paymaster. Mining industry, you know, all the mines, somebody was mentioning here that it is a site specific. When it's become a site specific, people are not ready to go. Take the case of NMDC's Baldala mines. Some of my seniors are here. When they went and they started the mines in late 70s or 60s and 70s, it was an inaccessible terrain. But people are ready to go and sacrifice their life for the best of this country. But unfortunately, the present generation, they want to be a mining engineer, but they don't want to visit the site. So what is happening is the cost of production, particularly, you know, the manpower cost is going substantially very high. Maybe we may have to incentivize the two disciplines, geology and mining, so that more and more people, they can come into this field, because when you go for more and more mining areas, you look for more people, not only in India, to go abroad. You need a lot of people. When it comes to financial constraints, one thing I missed to mention, always people look at India as a low-cost producer of any mineral, and also FOB cost is very less. The reason being, the ports are developed by the government, and railway infrastructure was developed in British time with a small marginal increase during post-independence era. But go to other countries, take Australia, Brazil, you go there, your mining cost plus the transport, that means you have to put lot of expenditure, lot of investment in infrastructure, particularly in rail and ports, which you have to develop. If you develop that, your cost, maybe FOB cost will be substantially very high. In India, that is not the case. That is why some of the mining companies, including NMDC, is flushed with a lot of money. And there was a mention in the earlier session with regard to the NMDC CSR activity and OHS. NMDC, the CSR is a new word for the present generation. But NMDC CSR was the path of life. When NMDC reached to the Bastar region, we started the work as a peripheral development activity. We thought, what is the best way to uplift the Bastar people? First, the infrastructure, road, we developed the road. Then we have given the drinking water facility. Then we thought next to health, then education. Now we thought education only is not sufficient. We should go for a training. Then not beyond that training, you should put them, place them in a proper place. So NMDC in this regard is a pioneer, and in fact Department of Public Enterprises has taken NMDC as a role model in implementation of CSR and directed all the PSUs that NMDC model to be propagated and implemented in the way of corporate life. Regarding OHS, all our units are having operational health, this one, and equipped with the doctors. We do a lot of medical tests, and the medical tests are computerized so that the data is available and it is handy for the people.